Okay, we're live. Welcome back to the Crypto Report, everybody. I know. What a wild little day it's been here, guys. Overnight, we saw Bitcoin take yet again another new all-time high, and it was awesome. And honestly, I just recorded a CRO video that's coming out a little bit later for you. And I talked a little bit about this, but I literally had a dream last night. Okay. I woke up in a haze and I was like, whoa, is that real? And I looked at my phone and Bitcoin was down to 117. But I had a dream last night that Bitcoin was at $99,000 and I was scrambling to buy it at 99K. Could it come down to those levels? I guess hypothetically, it could. And I think it's possible. But what is going on? A crypto market crash overnight after literally taking a new all-time high for Bitcoin, a big retracement, and longs get absolutely wrecked overnight. The woes of trying to trade to the long side through all-time highs is honestly something that has hurt me in previous bull markets. Okay, you do have to be very quick on those long trades, especially as we're finding price discovery mode. It can be lethal. It's so lethal that you actually saw $707 million worth of longs. Look at this giant green candle here representing $700 million worth of longs getting wrecked overnight as Bitcoin's taking a high. If you are getting wrecked longing Bitcoin at the highs, that is brutal, and I hate to see it. You just don't want to see it, okay? And it happens time and time again. Too much leverage, thinking that, hey, I'm in a conservative amount of leverage and waiting for it to just go, oh, it broke through 124. Bitcoin's going to 150. It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen in the snap of a finger. It takes time for Bitcoin to break through these highs significantly. Do I have a black circle in the middle of the screen? What? How's it going, Scott? Do I have a black circle in the middle of the screen? I don't think so. Do I? This is my microphone. There you go. Yeah. Wild. Trevor 801 in the chat says Cardano is literally the only one green today. Let's check that out. OKB token. It's quite green still. Let me actually refresh this because actually that might not be accurate. Cardano is a little bit green, up 6% today. It's the outlier. How about that? But yeah, we're getting kind of a lot of things coming down. Bitcoin went to 124. Now it dipped back down to 117. Here it is at 117 again. Ethereum's coming down to $4,500 again. I hate to say I told you so, guys, but look at Ethereum. Ethereum's been doing tremendously. It's been doing absolutely tremendously. And what I told you guys was that, there's a couple levels of resistance that I'm looking at. One is this kind of trend line right here at about 46.42. And then, of course, just like the tippy top of the previous high. Well, what we saw was on the daily time frame, we actually saw our daily candle close above it. And now we're looking at hopefully for the bulls, a bullish retest. Hopefully we can see a bullish retest in this daily candle actually have a bullish retest off this green trend line. Sorry, I got to fix my screen. It went away. Hopefully what we can see is this daily candle close rest here, and we can kind of get a bounce, for all those people rooting for Ethereum to break through these previous all-time highs right now. But this wick came quite low. Why is this all happening? Because PPI data, guys, it's came in much higher than expected. The market's freaking out over it. The odds of a Fed rate cut have shifted overnight as they have just continued to do over and over again. It's annoying, I know, but it keeps happening. It keeps happening over and over again. And I've got this giant red circle drawn here because I said, hey, it's possible for Ethereum to retest down to $4,000 again. Is this the move that takes us down to $4,000? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we don't come back down to $4,000, but $4,000 was a very key level in my mind. if we revisit it one more time before we blast through the new all-time high for Ethereum, I wouldn't be that shocked, especially given the PPI data. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it's just kind of like blast off time, because, like, you know, we're kind of running out of time for the bull market. At the end of the day, Bitcoin is the off ramp to the inflation problem. But boy, we do want those Fed rate cuts. These markets want a Fed rate cut. And just looking at the data, it's shifted. We had a 99% chance yesterday. In fact, we had a 0.01% chance of a double rate cut, and now it's down to 90%. So a 10% chance that we're not going to get a rate cut because of this PPI data that came out. Smash the like button for me. Subscribe to the channel, by the way. I'm going to sit down. Whoa. Let's sit down. I got to take a seat, Pete. You know what I'm saying? So looking at this, how's it going, Ray? What's going on? PPI data, not so good. Fed rate cut odds shifting in the wrong direction. Let's look at October now. Oh, gosh, I'm nervous. Whoa, dude. Yeah. I mean, not that bad. Not that bad. Still a very low chance that there's not a rate cut by October, but it's shifting the wrong direction. Still high odds that we're going to have a rate cut, but there is a real reason that this is coming down today. Boom. It's the stock market is a little spooked today as well. The inflation shock looked to sap the enthusiasm in the roaring market this week. Stocks extend the rally Wednesday. That was yesterday, pushing the S&P 500 to consecutive record highs. But then euphoria over possible September rate cut had swept Wall Street over the past 2 months. Everybody's excited about it. Traders have fully priced in the Fed's rate cut over the next meeting. And now Thursday morning, investors again shifted some bets on a rate hold next month. So all that priced in bullish action going on is just kind of getting, maybe people are kind of reversing it. Look, S&P and NASDAQ still looking really strong, but it is a fearful day. PPI inflation is a very big deal. It's kind of what everybody's talking about today. And wait, premature to that one right there. Yeah, so it was so fearful that over $100 billion was wiped out from the crypto market cap, not liquidated, but just like literally the market came down. $100 billion was taken off the table in crypto just in a day. That's insane to think about. That's so insane to think about. But that is the situation that we're looking at right now. So that was going on. It's PPI. I have this story as well. Because crypto is so significant, right? Well, I'm kind of all over the place, guys. I'm sorry. There's a lot going on here today. I'm getting ready for a vacation. I'm actually going to go this afternoon. In terms of the market, some of these coins are retracing today. Some of these things are up, actually, shockingly. But even these coins had a little bit of a dip. They are finding some upside right now. To the downside, a lot of coins are down 12%. They were down a little bit more this morning. Not a horrible crypto crash, but again, $100 billion getting pulled out of the crypto market, quite significant. The biggest deal, obviously, being the fact that we had the 700 million worth of liquidations, which was pretty crazy. Now, historically speaking, August, we're on track for a bullish August still, despite that. Actually, let's refresh this, make sure that's still the case. Still on track for a bullish August, up 2%, which is pretty good. And September would be bearish. Now, this PPI data, nobody, I don't think, expected it. I don't think anybody expected it. But here it is, coming in right before September. Maybe we're going to get more fearful as we climb into September. And maybe we don't get that rate cut, or maybe people are just fearful that we're not going to get the rate cut. And then we get the rate cut. And then all of a sudden that gives us like a end of September rally. So maybe we dip early September leading into the FOMC. Maybe we get the rate cut at the FOMC meeting coming up in just a short, when is it? 34 days. And then we're going to get some kind of rally going on, about a month from now. And maybe even we'll see, September flip green, which historically doesn't really happen. But even though there was a green September last September, we did have a dip before that rip. It ended green. It was red in the beginning of the month, and it ended green. So there is usually some kind of pullback in September for crypto, even if it ends up green. And then October is Uptober. We're getting ready for that. And, you know, I don't think that changes because there's still a good chance of a Fed rate cut. And again, the Fed rate cut is what everybody's looking for. That's why the market's dipping today, because there are fears that, you know, maybe we're not going to get there. There's 9% chance now that we're not going to get a rate cut. It's still a really good chance that we're going to get a rate cut. But regardless, crypto is very significant, my friends. We have these crazy, whoa, that is nuts. We have this crazy successful IPO that happened yesterday. Crypto exchange Bullish just got valued at $13.2 billion after they debuted on the New York Stock Exchange yesterday. That stock was going crazy. These ads are insane. That stock was going crazy. You know, the crypto exchange prices IPO'd at $37, got up to like 100, 110 or whatever it was. Came down to like $70 to close out yesterday. But it was an absolutely incredible day. And, you know, this just shows you how prevalent crypto is and how investors are looking at this market. On top of that, we do know that there are crypto super PACs really getting into this crypto space in a very big way and trying to influence the powers that be. Crypto Cash now threatening this senator in a comeback campaign. The $140 million super PAC war chest could be wielded against the Ohio Democrat as he seeks to return to the Senate in 2026. These stories are going to continue to get more and more popular. For folks that are not embracing the crypto industry, they are going to be having the successful industry, super PACs for crypto fighting against them when it comes to election time and campaigning. And this is something that we continue to see just ramping up more and more and more and more here. And this is just really the future of this asset class, is like trying to help influence elections, which sounds bad and dirty. Well, politics is bad and dirty. It always is. It always will be. If you guys want to trade in these markets, by the way, with all this volatility, is clearly a ton of it, you could sign up for Blowfin using the link in the description down below. You could also sign up for BitUnex. There are deposit bonuses when you sign up. Even if you're not like trading with real money, you could do demo trading, practice your trading. You could do copy trading. You could do, leverage, which is what I like to use. You could just do spot trading for really low fees on these platforms if you want to check them out as well. So check that out if you haven't done so already. But the reason for the PPI data coming out is tariffs. Okay. Producer price surge in inflation shock. Tariffs are a little bit of, the problem. Only a matter of time. PPI shows the president's tariffs are starting to bite. Now, this is what Fed Chair Powell has been warning of. People have been telling him to resign, step down. He's a little bit right. I mean, the tariffs are something to be fearful for, and now it's actually starting to show up in the prices of things. There you go. Tapestry stock slumps as Coach Kate Spade parent cuts outlook on tariff costs. Tariffs are now hitting the market in a negative way. Nvidia's Trump tax of little worry to investors eyeing riches. Nvidia people are still hyped about Nvidia, but this PPI data is causing some fear over whether there will be a Fed rate cut in this next meeting in the next 34 days or not. I still think there's a good chance we'll get that Fed rate cut. It looks like it, though. The data certainly isn't good, okay? Other news going on right now, maybe adding fuel to the fire that is the fear in this market. The U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says we are not going to be buying Bitcoin. Now, somebody here in the comment section says Bo Hines, ? Well, Bo Hines stepped down. Bo Hines was somebody that was urging this country to actually buy some Bitcoin and came out and helped with the National Strategic Reserve for Bitcoin. Jeez, my back's killing me. Ooh, it's not good. But Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says we are not going to be buying Bitcoin. In the same time, Bitcoin Magazine reporting that he's Scott Bessent is also saying, hey, but our Bitcoin reserve is already worth 15 to 20 billion. That is quite significant. Okay. That's quite a bit of Bitcoin. Maybe we don't need to buy Bitcoin. It'd be great if we did. And if we did and we started buying Bitcoin, other countries would certainly follow in suit. That's a very bullish story. So when you see this story come out, it seems a little bit bearish, but do note that we already have a ton of Bitcoin, and there is no doubt that the US government will continue to seize Bitcoin, probably to the tunes of millions, if not billions more worth of Bitcoin over time. People change their mind all the time. Just because right now this U.S. Treasury, Scott Bessent, says we're not going to be buying Bitcoin doesn't mean the next U.S. Treasury Secretary won't say the opposite. Doesn't mean that Scott won't change his mind. It doesn't mean that he won't change his mind. So it's very interesting, but I kind of adding fuel to the fire. It is amazing that we do have 15 to 20 billion. I think that's something to celebrate, though I know we'd like to see ourselves accumulate more. And we see these dips happen in the crypto market. Dips are for buying. That's why, again, I had a dream last night. I woke up thinking, is Bitcoin at 99K? Wow, what an opportunity to buy the dip. No, it was not. It was at 117, though, which was still a very good dip from the $124,000 price level we saw Bitcoin get to just yesterday. Absolutely unbelievable. Let's look at some of the data that I actually haven't looked at in a while. Let's look at some of these charts. So market cycle. I want to peek at some of these with you and throw a question or a comment in the chat. Hope everybody's doing well. Whiz bang in the chat. How's it going, brother? How's it going? Oh man, yep. Yep. Oh, he loves us. Can you tell? That's good. So looking at the, I wanted to look. There is the. Where is it? Well, we haven't looked at the Bitcoin rainbow price chart in a while. Why don't we take a peek at that? The Bitcoin bubble index. That's what I wanted to peek at. So here we are on the Bitcoin rainbow chart. Look at how this is very flat, actually, compared to, this bull market and even this bull market. We had a kind of a spike, got up to the yellow. We haven't even touched the yellow yet. This is very similar, I guess, to the 13 to 2017 kind of lag that we were having in time frame. Eventually, we got to the yellow, and we had a really nice explosion. Maybe that's still coming up into, October, November, December of 2025. I do think, though, by January, we should technically, be out of the bull market, technically. What I wanted to look at, though, was this Bitcoin bubble index, because in these blow-off tops, and this of excluding the 2013 bull market, but in these blow-off tops, the Bitcoin bubble index, when retail really starts to get in, I mean, you see this green wave kind of really shoot up. Now, we've had it shoot up a little bit. It took a very long time for us to see this green wave even get up here. I haven't looked at this in a while. It actually wasn't even flipping up at all. But I would liken these waves right here to these waves right here, saying that, likely, and here you go. Look at the time frame. This is August, September, and then October. October could be pretty glorious. So September, we might dip down a little bit, and then October would be probably when this green wave kind of flips up and your Bitcoin bubble index shows big moves. That's kind of what I'm looking for. We've always been talking about this bull market ending in October of 2025, and here we are waiting for it to happen. At one point, we were wondering if we were ahead of schedule. How's it going, Coin Baron in the chat? Certainly, that ahead of schedule thing came around the Bitcoin ETF time, but we kind of had that retrace a little bit, caught back on track. We stalled out for a while for Bitcoin, and then we kind of got our bull market back on track for at least the 4-year cycle time frame. How's it going? No Exchange in the chat. Good morning to you. We are going down to manipulation candles right now. What do you think? Oh, I think that the volatility in this market makes sense right now. It totally makes sense. Let's look at the altcoin season index. We're kind of heading up towards an altcoin season, potentially, because Bitcoin dominance is kind of falling, and we are headed into October, which is when I think that blow off top is coming. So eventually we are going to have to shift to that altcoin season. We've seen phase 1, which is the Bitcoin rally, play out. We're seeing phase 2 play out right now, which is that Ethereum pump. Phase 3 would be large caps pumping. We might be seeing that very soon, maybe at the end of September, beginning of October, and then through October and maybe into November and December, you're going to have that full-fledged altcoin season, which is, historically speaking, a shorter altcoin season than we've seen in the past. But that's just kind of what we've got right now in terms of our time frame and potential. It's just kind of the way that I'm looking at this market at the current moment. Let me change the tunes. I'll turn them up. What other questions you guys have? How's it going, everybody in the chat? If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, repost on X, all these good things. This is the Crypto Report. I am Crypto Kip. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Bitcoin all-time high versus Ethereum rejection. Yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing I wanted to discuss. So Bitcoin took a new all-time high yesterday. It did. Got up to 124.4. But Ethereum couldn't quite do it. Once you see Ethereum break that high, I think it's the sign. I think it's the sign for altcoin season. I wasn't surprised to see the rejection there, guys. I really, really wasn't. Not at all. I'm not surprised to see XRP retesting $3. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ethereum test $4,000. I wouldn't be surprised to see XRP retest $245, maybe $263. Pepe's coming back down to test. Oh, what do you know? A trend line. Key trend line. Bitcoin's still slipping a little bit, though. If Bitcoin breaks below, like, 115 or whatever, it could easily be slipping back down to 112, 110. I had a dream about 99K. If 99K gets touched again, then I just predicted the future with my dreams. It would be wild. I literally had such a vivid dream this morning about it. Total market cap got all the way up to $4.14 trillion. And we're back below 4 trillion today. Coin Baron says Dutch News was talking about a Bitcoin bubble growing with a new all-time high. Yeah, I mean, and look, it's always a bubble. I mean, it's not the bubble that the news and media talk about where it's like, this bubble's going to pop and Bitcoin's going to be worthless one day. But what we're all rooting for is for everything to get overbought, overbought, and it go parabolic and go crazy and frothy, and retail, with whatever money retail has left, get in, institutions getting in. But then eventually there will be a profit-taking zone, and I still think we're early for this bubble. We haven't had that bubble, that real bubble yet, but we're kind of, it's boiling up. It's boiling up. There's a CME gap filled today. I know there's a CME gap at 99K. There is a CME gap at 99K. Where is the other CME gap, Coin Baron? I don't know. How's it going, BSS? How's it going, John316? Trevor in the chat. Bull in the chat. Why is everything plummeting today? My Crow just dropped a lot. I was for Crow, and I got a video coming out on Crow later. Clear levels of resistance right there. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. This is something we've been talking about thoroughly. I certainly have been. Around town's on vacation. Where are you at on vacation, brother man? I'm going to a beach. I won't tell you where, but I will be doing a video from said beach. Hey, BSS just reposted the stream on X. Appreciate you, brother. Everybody should repost it. This weekend, a new CME gap was created about 118. Oh, well, then it was certainly got below that. Here we are right now. It's a pretty big red candle. It's one of the biggest red candles we've seen on the day of the time frame in a while. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Chat's a little quiet today. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that not everybody's like clicking in and like what's going on with these markets. Pretty surprising. Pretty surprising, actually. I'm really thinking that maybe Bitcoin dominance gets one last bounce here before altcoin season. This bounce in September, that's kind of my thought, possibly. Ray says, a few days ago I bought a BTT potensor. Was that what that is? Related to Tron. So I bought both, but with more BTT because I have micro pennies and a bunch of zeros. I felt weird holding it, but it went up. Yeah, when you're talking about, Ray, like buying things, because like there's a bunch of zeros in front of it, like that's never a reason to buy a coin. That's a trap that a lot of newcomers come into crypto. They're like, oh, well, it's got a lot of zeros, so if it goes to $1, that's the trap. Like that's the trap with Shiba Inu. A lot of people are like, Shiba Inu's going to $1, Shiba Inu's going to a penny. Some of our biggest view videos are, I'll put $1 Shiba Inu on the thumbnail, only to in the video tell people that like I don't believe that $1 Shiba Inu will ever happen. I'll put a penny on the Shiba Inu thumbnail, say, a penny Shiba Inu is not going to happen. It's a trap, so that should never be your investment thesis as well, since there's pennies. It's a micro, and it could get to $1 or a penny, which isn't that much to ask. Well, it is, because then you're like asking for a $20 trillion market cap or something like that, which the crypto market is currently $4 trillion. So just careful with all that stuff. Start asking ChatGPT about like market caps and possibilities, and it'll teach you realistic stuff. How's it going, Scott? Bitcoin hyper? I don't like any kind of Bitcoin copycat. I'm not going to look at it. There is no Bitcoin number 2. It's just Bitcoin. The U.S. government owns $20 billion worth of Bitcoin, not, Bitcoin hyper. And that's the reality. And that's why Ethereum, by the way, is doing so darn well, because that's the other one that institutions and governments are paying attention to. Maybe one day there will be some others that they're paying attention to, but right now there's a couple big ones. It's Bitcoin and Ethereum. Blake in the chat, how's it going? How low do you think Crow dips? 10 cents wouldn't shock me. I wouldn't be surprised to see a dip down to 10 cents again. 12 cents would be a very logical level. 12 cents would be a logical level. See, we saw that red wick kind of touch down here. There's these wicks over here. 12 cents, 10 cents, 12 cents makes more sense. BSS says $1,000 XRP equals Kip in a chicken costume. That's true. That's true. If we get to $1,000 XRP, I will wear a chicken costume with a sign saying I was wrong about XRP. James Rose says every fear they push through builds confidence. Right on schedule. We are on schedule, James. I do agree with you there. Just need credit 35 cents and I'll take out my initial no exchange. Hey, he's got a profit-taking plan. I like a profit-taking plan. Okay, Scott, I'll look at it. I don't like it, but I'll look at it because I like you. That's not a good sign. That's all. It's not on CoinMarketCap. I don't know. Can't do it. I'll check again. I don't even know where you're finding it. Where would I find it, Scott? Is it a stock? Oh, it's a Bitcoin L2. Oh, man. That looks like a meme coin. Yeah. That's a new pre-sale. Oh, boy. I don't know. I'm not gonna do it. Nope. The only L2 I liked past tense was Stacks, and I think I still like it, but I'm definitely more skeptical of it. Alex Labs ruined Stacks, and I liked Alex Labs. I was very excited about it. It looked great, user interface, but they had their liquidity pools drained like 3 times now, and they're like, "Oh, sorry." Yeah. Jay Samuel says, was green for so long. I expected this red day. Yes, we were expecting this red day as well, brother man. Big level of resistance for Ethereum. No doubt about it. All right, guys, that's all I got. I'm going to go on a vacation now. Ha! I got more videos coming for you, even though I'll be on vacation, because I love you and because we got to keep that crypto content coming for you guys. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Check out the affiliates and the link in the description down below if you want to sign up for Blowfin. BitUnex, there are sign-up bonuses to take advantage of, guys. Thank you so much for watching this channel and joining us on this wonderful Thursday. No live stream tomorrow, just a regular video from me from the beach. Hopefully you enjoy it. I'll see you in the next one, guys. DCA Hodl, DRM Research. Until next time. Peace, y'all.